Hello, world. This is America's Supermom, and this is a special edition that I call the Corona Chronicles. During this time, we are suffering from a pandemic that is affecting everyone across the world. We are joined with the rules and regulations of being shelter in place, which means we are limited with the ability to go about our daily business, confined to our homes based on a coronavirus that has been sweeping the entire world. For some people, the effects could be mild. For others, it can be fatal. So we are coming together as a community, as a family during this time of difficulty to share what it is like in our part of the world, how we are affected, and the things that we have in common, what kind of problems that are taking place in our industries and in our relationships and finances, and coming together so that we can plan for a better tomorrow. As this epidemic or pandemic crosses the world, we are waiting for relief. We're waiting for the virus to die off and for us to go back to some state of normalcy, whatever that may be, after things kind of settle down. So, what is that going to look like once the dust settles? How are things going to be different? So, as we go through this process, we're coming together as a world to create ideas, strategies, connect in ways that we have never connected before. So, that is the purpose of the special podcast that I call the Corona Chronicles, so that we can get some insight and have empathy and compassion on one another, create new innovative ideas that can not only improve our life, but our fellow brothers and sisters across the world. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys for listening today. We have a special guest. Carla is going to be joining us. And forgive me, Carla, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, so I'll let you do that when I
It's
give you the mic in a few moments. But she is here to join us today to give a little bit of her insight on um, what's going on with her and just being able to give a few words of encouragement during this time with this pandemic. So we just want to thank her for joining us today and look forward to all of her knowledge and words of wisdom. So, Carla, if you could take some time to let everybody know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
thanks so much, Lachelle. I'm
Mhm.
Carla Fedigan.
Mhm.
I married an Irishman, so he said he wouldn't marry me till I knew how to say and spell his last name. We've been married for 14 years, and we both have two older children. Um, our children are in our 30s, so we're up there,
Mm.
but we're also
Mhm.
starting the prime of our lives too. Um, I grew up in Atlanta
Uh-huh.
and left Atlanta for a short time to go to Houston, Texas, then lived in Europe for 10 years. But I have been in nursing for 40 years now
Mm.
and just left the nursing profession to take my business full time in health and wellness. And I haven't looked back because I realized
Mhm.
over the years that healthcare has gotten reactive as opposed to proactive. And the best thing that we
Mm.
can do, that I've been preaching for years and more so now, is to work on our health and wellness because it's the only thing we have. And when that little cliche is health is your wealth, it truly is right now. And
Mhm.
I figure as I'm getting older, I have two choices. I can be unhappy and miserable and
Mhm.
living life in aches and pains, or I can be happy and active. And I choose happy and active. I'm 61, and I still have plenty of years left to go. I'm just getting started, girl.
Amen. Amen. And you definitely don't look 61, that's for
Oh,
sure.
thank
So
you
we
so
have to
much.
make sure we add a picture to
Yeah,
this
yeah.
podcast link, okay?
Well, I was just
Because,
telling my husband this morning that this social distancing is driving me crazy. I looked in the mirror and I said, I need to have a clandestine reunion with my quote unquote sister, AKA hairdresser, and say, you got to come help me.
I know that's right. Look, we might have to get online and find some tutorials for, virtual hairstyles.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, we're all resourceful right now. We're all doing,
Yes,
yeah.
this is so true. Yeah, so healthcare is quite a sensitive topic right now in lieu of this pandemic. So, first of all, I love your approach about, just getting started at 61 because a lot of us, I just remember being younger as a kid. It was like 60s. Wow, that is old. Now it's like it's the new 30 or 40. So, what are some tips that you would give someone just first off with getting started with having a more proactive approach when it comes to their health?
Oh, wow. The list is very long, and this is something that I start off with my clients with. I'm also affiliated with Isogenics International, which is a health and
Mhm.
wellness company. And when I turned 50 and I was in graduate school, or I've been finishing my bachelor's degree and getting my master's after that, I realized that,
Mhm.
I did not want to, I didn't like that season of my life, so to speak. And I
Mhm.
had to put my health first and get back
Mhm.
into putting myself first to where I could give more to others and be better as a mother, as a wife, as a student, as a
Mm.
nurse, that I had to not just put myself first and not just take
Mhm.
what was left over at the end of the day.
Mm.
And then I also, when I talk to clients, I not only talk to them about the health and wellness solutions that we have, but I also have them sit down and look at all areas of their life. And one of the things I like to do is teach people about mindset and starting their day off with gratitude and shifting
Mhm.
to positivity and always finding something
Mhm.
positive. It's so easy to get on that negative train of thought. And, we've all worked with
Mhm.
people like that. And next thing you know, you find yourself so negative and you go, what am I doing? I've got to make a shift there.
Mhm.
So we talk about mindset, we talk about goal setting, we talk about
Mhm.
why they want to reach their goal, whether it be they want better sleep, they want less stress in their life, they want more balance, they want weight wellness.
Mhm.
There's a lot of weight loss companies out there, and ours is not one of
Mhm.
them, but unfortunately, over 60% of people have weight issues and that can
Mhm.
severely impact your health. So we look at
Mhm.
really nourishing your body with proper nutrition and making good
Mhm.
food choices and
Mhm.
not skipping meals and really fueling your body and taking that control
Mhm.
back over food. A lot of people feel like food controls them, and we work on
Mm.
having control over food and using food as a fuel and getting rid of those cravings and really finding that balance in your life that you don't have that struggle with food like so many people have. We work on
Mm.
hydration. We work on exercise. I'm not saying going out and be a gym rat or anything like that, but
Mhm.
the positive aspects of just getting out and walking 30 minutes a day, putting on your favorite
Mhm.
podcast, like your great podcast, would be
Oh,
great. You
thank
just get
you.
out there. When I started running and walking, I would get out and put my podcast on, and next thing I know, I've done a 5K in my neighborhood, and it was so
Wow.
easy to
Mhm.
do. because I was absorbed in that personal development, that mindset,
Mm.
education, and constantly learning and constantly developing and constantly improving myself. So I got a 2 for 1. I got
Mm.
my exercise, and then I also got I got my personal development at the same time.
I love
Yeah,
that.
we work on stress reduction. We work on things like
Mhm.
things you can do to get better sleep. And a lot of this goes back to square one, which is your nutrition.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and what I like is that we develop lifelong habits. It's not a diet
Mm.
that you go on for 30 days and then you get off of it. It's something that you are on for the rest of your life because you have learned to treat yourself right and you've learned to love the way
Mhm.
you feel. And you go,
Mhm.
why would I stop this? You know?
Mhm. I
You got to
love that.
continue to do that and find that lifelong balance. So we work on all of
Mhm.
those areas for people.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
good. Now, so you mentioned that, in your own mindset when it came to putting yourself first. So there are people that, their whole world has been turned
Oh
upside
yeah.
down, on at a moment's notice and no control of their own. So for somebody who hasn't put themselves first, what does that look like? That transition. Were there signs that you weren't doing it, or for somebody who might feel like that could be
Well,
me?
a lot of people have always known that they haven't put themselves first because they've got kids, they've got a
Mhm.
job, they have to maybe
Mhm.
take care of the house. They want to pay attention to their husband, of course. They've got all these things.
Mhm.
They've been chauffeur for their kids. They've been the grocery shopper. They've been the bill payer. They've had all these hats that they've worn,
Mhm.
and they're still wearing these
Mhm.
hats, but their whole life has been turned upside down because they may not have a job. They might have had their hours cut.
Mhm.
They've got their kids at home,
Mhm.
and now all of a sudden they've
Mhm.
become a teacher, and they've had to set up
Mhm.
structure for their kids when their whole life just isn't in structure. You know, um,
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
I think number one is to realize the whole change is not going to happen overnight. Even without this pandemic,
Mm.
now it's just kind of in
Mhm.
high gear, that you've got to give
Mhm.
yourself grace and go, today I'm going
Mhm.
to do the best that I can do. And work out little
Mhm.
strategies, try different things. You don't have to be perfect. I gave up
Mhm.
on perfection a
Mhm.
long time ago. I just
Amen.
strive to do the best I can do. I've been saying I don't have kids at home, and I've been saying I was going to give my dog a bath for 3 days now. Today it might happen, you
Right.
know? Yes, I don't
Right.
have
Right.
kids. I block schedule my day. Does that stay mean
Mhm.
that I stay in that block? Not always, but at least I have it written
Mhm.
down and I know that those are things that I needed to get done. They might get done a little bit later or things
Mm.
might get shuffled around, but they get done. And I give
Mhm.
myself grace because otherwise I'm so stressed I'm not going to get anything
Mhm.
done.
I love that. I love that. So I love the whole thing of taking it in stride, little small things that you could do. What are the benefits? Once because that's kind of good if you have the mindset of, okay, I'm going to, block schedule my day, and then do one or two things, and that's okay with
Yeah.
you, right? But for somebody who is goal oriented, or like, oh, I got to get these things done, what benefits have you found with this approach of putting yourself first and recognizing that? How has it
Well,
changed?
I used to
You
be
know.
one of these people that overscheduled. So I say, stop the
Okay.
overscheduling, realize that you
Okay.
cannot do everything that you have on your schedule. You're going to
Mhm.
stress yourself out
Mhm.
and figure out what are the 3 or 4 important things that I have to do today and get those things done. Do the
Mhm.
hardest things first. If you're a procrastinator
Mhm.
sometimes, just go ahead and do those hard things first.
Mhm.
Get them out of the way.
Mhm.
If you have to
Mhm.
do projects in little bits and pieces and say, okay, I'm going to take 30 minutes to an hour to do X, just do that and then let it go.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
just go on to your
Mhm.
next thing that you have to do. But let go of perfection, give yourself grace, and
Mhm.
realize you cannot do it all. You
Mhm.
can be a super
Mhm.
mom just
Mhm.
in what you are doing that day.
Amen.
I have
I
a
love
I
that.
have a friend of mine
Very
who
good.
is in the business with me, and she runs her business and she homeschools 5 kids. And I'm thinking,
Mm.
well, what do I have to complain about if she can do it? But she would be the first person to tell you to let go of perfection because it was not easy at first.
Mhm.
What people see when people,
Mhm.
we kind of compare ourselves, and when we do
Mhm.
that, we're killing ourselves. We're cutting ourselves down, and we've got to
Mhm.
stop comparing ourselves to other people.
Mhm.
That we can only be the
Mhm.
best that we can
Mhm.
be. And it's like the
Right.
iceberg. You see the top of the iceberg of success,
Mhm.
but you don't see all the stuff underwater that's gone on to get to that point.
Mhm.
You know, when
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
look at social
Mhm.
media, you only see the pretty stuff. Okay. And I
Right.
used to be like that when I
Mhm.
used to do videos for LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or something like that. I used to think, oh my gosh, I got to look right. I don't have makeup on, or, I got to get it right. And, oh, I don't like that filter or that filter. And then I just thought, people want to see you the way you are, and people accept you the way you are, and they appreciate your
Amen.
authenticity.
Amen. Yeah. And to me, it's just another barrier, because if you have all this checklist of things that you have to have, for a video, for example, then it minimizes your ability to be spontaneous on a message or something because it's like, oh, that's a great thing I could do, but my hair's not fixed or I don't have on earrings. You begin to think about the things you don't have rather than think
And
about
they
the things that you do have.
and they
So
become
that's a great
excuses.
point.
Hmm. Hmm.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
you
can
do.
use your own
You do.
excuses. So true.
You do.
Now, so what is a good meal? Let's just say even just for one day. A good meal that people can begin eating. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And what is the truth about having like 3 meals a day, 2 snacks, or whatever. I know it's different for different people, but what do you find is best for you with the ideal day
Well,
plan for
first off,
meals?
I don't like to do calorie counting. Um, and that's one of the
Okay.
things I love about isogenics is that we don't calorie count, and we don't do points or anything like that. But I also work with people that want to
Mhm.
just up their nutrition, because it's not only using some of our great products that we have, it's also about finding balance in your life. That I can go out of town and I can know what to eat for breakfast, and I know what to eat for lunch, and I know how to fuel my body right, and I know the right selections to make for dinner, you know. Um, I, A
Mhm.
number
Mhm.
one, most people, if they say, well, I eat like maybe a cup of yogurt for breakfast and a little of this for lunch and a little bit of that for dinner, but I don't understand why I'm still losing weight or I can't lose weight. Well, that was me. I used
Mhm.
to skip breakfast because I was never
Mhm.
hungry on my way to work. Lunch never happened because it was at my desk, and then I come home and eat dinner, and I'm going, hey, my weight's not dropping. I'm consuming less calories. Most people, women
Mm.
especially, don't get enough calories. When I meet with people and I say, tell me what a normal breakfast,
Mm.
lunch, and dinner and snacks are like for you, they're either overeating or a lot of people are undereating. And most women are very
Mm.
deficient in protein. And protein is what gets your metabolism going. Okay.
Mhm.
So make sure that you're
Mhm.
doing a breakfast with protein in it. I love like egg poppers that you can make in a muffin pan and put them in the freezer, pop them in the microwave. You you can make
Mm.
scrambled egg
Mhm.
roll-ups, things like that. Just different things that are low in
Mhm.
fat. Um, you can have good fats
Mhm.
in your diets. Do egg roll-ups, things like that. But a bowl of cereal with milk is not going to cut it for you, or one tiny cup of yogurt is not going to cut it for you.
Mm.
You really need to have about 200 to 300 calories
Mm.
in your meal. And they have to be good calories, and focus on
Mhm.
protein. And I would say the same thing for lunch as well.
Mhm.
Um, Stick to fresh.
Mhm.
Half of your plate should be vegetables. A quarter of it should be a
Mhm.
protein source, like meat, fish, chicken,
Mhm.
um, tofu, even plant proteins, beans, and things like that. And then
Mhm.
the other can be like
Mhm.
complex carbohydrates, like whole grain rice and quinoa and things like that. Just a nice little balance.
Mhm.
A
Mhm.
lot of women will think, well, I'm going to go and
Mhm.
have a salad at a restaurant. Well, we're not doing restaurants right now, but I'm going to have a salad. Well, did you know
Mhm.
that the Applebee's
Mhm.
Asian chicken salad, just the regular size, if you pay attention to calories, is 1,400 calories? That's more than what I eat in a day.
Wow.
So if you go, well, I'll just get the
That's
small size,
crazy.
that's 770 calories. And people don't realize
Wow.
that for me that's equivalent to about two
Yeah.
meals, you know. I always get in a morning snack and
Mhm.
an afternoon snack. I like to do something there again with a protein source. I'll do apple with peanut butter, or I'll do celery with chicken salad, or something like that, to get that protein in. Because I like to pace
Mhm.
my protein throughout the day because it keeps
Mhm.
my metabolism up.
Mhm.
And then,
Mm.
I'll use our
Mhm.
meal replacement bars or our meal replacement shakes and make smoothies out of them, or a smoothie bowl with nuts and berries and things like that in it. Those are good
Mhm.
options. But then I'll have a normal dinner with my husband, and we'll do, we eat a lot lighter
Mhm.
than we used to. We love soups. We'll make soups, and we can get
Mhm.
meals for us,
Mhm.
and then 3 or 4 extra meals that we pop in the freezer, and they're perfect. We'll do chicken, and we'll
Mhm.
do some vegetables or something like that, but we don't do a whole lot of casseroles or things like that. We do a lot of fresh vegetables. Frozen is perfectly fine too. They're a great resource. A lot of times I'd rather do frozen vegetables because I hate to throw out food. My husband will forget something's in the refrigerator, and I'll go, let's
Mm.
make something out of this. And you pull it out and it looks so
Mhm.
horrible in the bag. You go, well, that's money down the drain. With everybody trying to save money these days,
Right.
why not use frozen? It's perfectly fine to do. Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
So good. These are some great tips. And what I noticed too is that a lot of people probably don't realize that a lot of their caloric intake is through some of these
absolutely.
drinks that they have, more so than
Yeah, yeah.
anything
When
else.
I talk to people about
Mhm.
hydration, we talk about a lot of people are drinking sodas, and even diet sodas,
Mhm.
and they all have caffeine in them.
Mhm.
And there are people out there
Mhm.
living on caffeine, and they're living on Red Bulls, and they're living on Mountain Dew, and for every cup of that you drink, you need
Mhm.
to replace 2 cups of water. So, and most people will walk around dehydrated.
Mm.
So, um,
Mhm.
hydration is a big thing. Living on caffeine, they're throwing away a lot of money too.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. Now, so another thing to consider is, you said half your plate should be veggies and the other portion should be other things. But one of the things I'm want to get across to the audience is, what does that plate look like? in terms of the portions, because I find that a lot of times, just here we've been rationing our food with our children and telling them, hey, we're just not going to be eating everything 24/7. So, as we've kind of drawn back on the portion sizes, we find that it
Absolutely.
doesn't take a lot to make us feel full. So, where can somebody go to kind of figure out what size their portion should be? Because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
might be something to
The
consider as well.
Dietary Association has got some good handouts, and I've got some as well. But usually,
Mhm.
you can't get enough vegetables for the vitamins and the minerals that are in that. That's great.
Okay.
In terms of portion sizes for meat, think of
Mhm.
the size of the palm of your hand. Okay. If you're going to do rice or
Okay. Mhm.
quinoa
Mhm.
or, pastas, things like that,
Mhm.
think of about a cup or a half cup, just like we know when you go to a restaurant
Okay.
and they serve you the rice and they put it in the nice little measuring cup and then they put it upside down on your plate. That's the good size.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
found that
Mhm.
years ago
So
we
true.
worked very gradually on getting the junk out of our house. And when we did that, we knew that we only
Mm.
had good choices. We had we had fruit. We had
Right.
we had, maybe some peanut butter to put on an apple or something like that. We had tuna packs or, different things like that.
Mm.
Um, but we got the junk out of our house, and that made a huge difference in our diet. Hmm.
That is so good. Now, so walk somebody through that process. How did you get
Well,
started with that?
years
What did that
ago,
look like?
when my confession here, my authenticity, years ago, when I was never hungry
Mhm.
or I'd come home after working a stressful day, the joke would be that I could have ice cream for dinner because my kids weren't in the house
Mhm.
anymore. And I was an ice creamaholic. I would eat a
Mm.
bowl of ice cream every night. And when we started making changes, we decided
Wow.
we'd have one cheat day a week, and that was Sunday. And then I realized that
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
foods that used to be my comfort foods, they and I when I changed my diet, they didn't bring
Mhm.
me the same comfort that they used to. And so I'm going, those crunchy Cheetos just don't taste the
Mm.
same anymore. And so they didn't bring me that comfort. So I thought, why am I eating them?
Mm.
You know, you're making progress when you can go to
Mm.
Walmart or Publix or Kroger or whatever and stand there in the grocery store line, and those foods to your right and your left don't even phase you. Or you don't even avoid the chocolate aisle anymore or
Amen.
the cookie aisle. Now, I'm not saying that I don't eat them
Mhm.
anymore.
Mhm.
You know, I go over to my dad's house. He's 86
Mhm.
and he's got a cookie jar that my kids made for him back in probably the early 90s. And he puts lemon cookies in there. Well,
Mhm.
I love anything about lemon. I'm all about lemon. I have a Pinterest board, all things lemon. Okay. Yeah. So every time I go over there,
Mm.
it's just tradition. I grab two of those little lemon cookies out of his cookie jar, and that's what I allow myself. Um, I've learned how to eat. I've learned that I can have a
Right.
few cheat things every once in a while. We still go out to eat. We just choose wiser and we share. So it's a
Mhm.
gradual process.
Right.
And there
Right.
again, I learned to give myself grace.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I love
Mhm.
that. Now, so you mentioned that you guys share. So, sh shed
Well,
light on that. What is
well,
that
when we when we
when
go
you're
out to
saying you're
eat,
sharing when you go out to eat?
we will do like fajitas for one, and we'll share.
Mhm.
My husband's bigger than me, so he gets two of the corn
Mm.
tortillas, and I get one, which is
Mhm.
perfectly fine for me. Sometimes I don't even eat the corn tortilla. I just pick at the meat and the vegetables, which is
Mm.
perfectly fine for me. One thing to remember is the way the body is made.
Mhm.
It takes your body 20 minutes to be full, to get that recognition that I'm full. So you can either fill it up fast and really pig out and add it all in there, or you can eat slow, you can enjoy it, you can socialize with each other and eat less. So we actually have, we go walking. There's a multi-use path down near us. And we would go to the gym and we do our weights, and then we would go out and we would walk up to a particular point and back, and it was 4 miles. And then my husband would look at me and go, "Hey, do you want to go have guacamole?" So we go to Monterey's, and we called it Guac and Talk, because we talked during our walk. We got out, we enjoyed each other, we enjoyed the air, we enjoyed the exercise. Then we came back and had our guacamole and continued to talk. Yeah.
That's so sweet. Yeah, so I love the way that you
you have
establish
to.
routines around
And it's
healthy
because I've
choices.
learned to
That's
value
just right.
myself.
And
I got a lot of living to do, Lachelle.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that. That's a blessing. I mean, you have an
Well,
example
if I
right in
could
front
keep
of you
him
with
off
your
the
dad who's
roof,
86. That's phenomenal.
trying to power wash the roof, I'll be doing good. I've given up on the fact that he is so stubborn. He won't call me and say, "Please go to Kroger for me." I was just telling my husband today, I said, if he dies of anything, it'll be Corona, because he went to Kroger. So, but he's active. He's actually still working. I think I remember telling you that. He's 86. He's 86, and he's in sales. He does specialty advertising, and he still has clients. He's 86, and he still answers the phone during normal office hours the same way every time. Yeah, he loves it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, we really have enjoyed your insight. Some great nuggets.
Oh,
I mean, I
good.
have
I'm
a
glad I
page
brought some
full of notes
value to
over
you.
here, which is usual for me. Yes. Now, so what is the best way for somebody to get a hold of you? Because you've got some great tips. Even it might be a business opportunity that they're interested in. A lot of people, their industries are disrupted. They're looking at different ways to
Yeah, absolutely.
monetize, and
I know
so
that
they may be
I had
interested in that
started
as
out in
well.
my business a few years ago just because I enjoyed I love the health and wellness options that we had, and I truly was able to turn my life around and then share it with friends and family, and then got into sharing it with other people. So that option is always out there. Sadly, more so than now. I've heard so many stories in the past 2 weeks about people's hours being cut or laid off, or with no promise of being rehired, and there's nowhere to go for a job right now. It's really tough, and people are looking for things to do at home too. I had the opportunity to stay at home doing this as of last September, and it's just made such a huge difference in my life, all over, in terms of stress level, in terms of setting my own schedule and having time freedom to be available for my dad. And I'm building financial freedom because I've got a lot of years to go left. Yeah. But if people would like to contact me, I'm on LinkedIn. Is Carla Fedigan RN. And I'm also on Facebook, nothing catchy, first name and last name, Carla Fedigan. And then I also have a website for my Isogenics business. It's C as in Charlie, Fedigan, Fedigan, at isogenics.com, if people would like to get in touch with me.
Awesome. Well, we really haven't appreciated the time that you've shared with us today, Carla, and
Oh,
look
absolutely.
forward
Thank
to
you so much,
collaborating with you
Lachelle. And
again in
I'm
the future,
so
okay?
mesmerized by all the things that you do, being the super mom, and how you keep it all together. I've learned some great tips from you as well that I've been passing on to my friends too. So it's certainly been a pleasure.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Okay, you
so
take
much. I
care.
appreciate
Make it a
that.
great
And
day.
we'll talk soon, okay?
Bye-bye.
All What a great interview. I enjoyed the whole mindset of giving yourself grace. You know, as we approach this pandemic, we have so many routines that are disrupted. We just don't know whether we're coming or going a lot of times. And so I love the mindset that we have to give ourselves grace, take baby steps, and begin to time block and have a plan, but recognize that sometimes that plan gets changed, and that's okay. You know, so as we navigate through these times, it's important for us to be mindful of the fact that every day is not going to look the same. You know, the priorities and the goals are changing every day, every minute, sometimes every hour. So I love that insight that Carla gave us. And be sure to reach out to her if you would like to be more proactive with your health. Please consider giving her a call. If you are interested in being a guest on the podcast, email me at info@LachelleAtkins.com. You can also contact me through Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, and I have a YouTube channel. So I want to thank you all for listening. If there was something of value that you've heard in this podcast, please feel free to share it with others. That's something that doesn't cost anything, but it allows us to allow this thread of ours of doing something good. One small thing every day can help bless the lives of someone else. So you all, thank you again for listening, and talk to you soon.